Hi, my name is Niyi Odunsi, and this is the dating cycle, helping you succeed in your love relationships. Today, we're going to be taking some questions. Continue, actually, we started taking questions earlier on, so we're going to part two now, taking a few of the questions that you've sent. And if you want us to answer your questions, please send to the WhatsApp number that you see on the screen, okay? And please don't be upset if you don't get to your particular question, because what we're trying to do is marry some of the questions. They sound alike, the answers are similar, so we'll just marry them together and then give you answers, solutions, and of course direction to help you navigate out of that unfortunate or difficult situation that you found yourself in. Okay, so we're going to start off with a very simple one. It's just asking. Somebody says, there you are now, says, my girlfriend is clingy. What do I do? Well, what do you do? Your girlfriend is clingy. Well, I'll say this. You don't have to go on with a relationship you're not happy in. Okay, love relationships don't always have to end up in marriage. So don't ever feel pressured to be in a relationship if you're not happy about whatever is going on in that relationship. Okay, you see, there are four types of dominant temperaments. You have the sanguine, you have the melancholy, you have the phlegmatic, and of course you have the choleric. Now, these are different temperaments. The sanguine is the outgoing one, and more often than not, they are the clingy ones. They are the ones that like to be held. They are the ones that like to hold. They can hold you in public, and sometimes, especially if you're melancholy, you may not like being held. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with anybody. That's just the way God made them. Okay, it's okay to want to be held, and it's okay to want to hold people, and it's also okay not to want to be held. You see, so it's not as if okay, this person is clingy, that means they are bad. That means there's something wrong with them. No, there's nothing wrong with them. Okay, so if you're involved with someone that's clingy, two choices: either you're going to learn to tolerate it and become clingy yourself, or you're going to say no, I can handle this. Go look for someone who is not clingy. It's allowed, it's fine, okay? And this is why we advise start relationship as friends. Then there are no surprises. Because if you were friends with this person before you entered into a love relationship, you would have known they were clingy, and you would have had the opportunity to decide if you wanted to take this relationship to the next level or not. It wouldn't be a problem, okay? So like I said, two choices for you. You're either going to learn to be clingy, you're going to learn to tolerate it, because guess what? This person could have many other qualities that you like. There may be a reason why you want to be with them. So it's a question of ratios, actually. Now, if she's got other things, there are other reasons why you want to be with them, with that person, and those reasons outweigh the clingy part, then you have to learn to tolerate it, because the next person you are going to meet, they may not be clingy, but what if they don't have the things that this particular one has? You see, so it's a matter of ratios. You have to decide what is more important to you, but you can always adapt. I'm melancholy. I don't like clinging and being clinged to too much. But my wife is different. She's sanguine. She loves clinging and all that. Now, we'll be married for 30 years this year. So obviously, I've had to tolerate and learn to be clingy. Okay, so that's good. Let's go to the next one. Should I be comfortable with sharing financial responsibilities with my partner? Now, this is a good one also. Sharing financial responsibilities with my partner. Now, this depends. Are you married? Are you not? You haven't said whether you're married. So I look at it. If you are not married, then this is something you should discuss with your partner. If you're planning to get married, then this is something you should discuss. If you're not planning to get married, it's also something you should discuss. You see, I keep having to say this. Nobody should be under pressure to be in any form of relationship, any serious love relationship, because this is why we talk about the dating cycle. When you go through the process the right way, then you are not under pressure. A relationship that starts with friendships, it gives you so many options. It gives you the choice to decide whether you want to move up the relationship to a higher level or not. You see? Now, if you were friends with this person and then you found out that maybe you go out to eat, go out for a drink, and this person, the guy, obviously expects you to, square or foot part of the bill, share the bill, then you would know, okay? Because you're friends, you know what they do, you know what they like. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to go on to say, let's start a serious thing between us, because you don't like that. So you find someone who will not share. Now, what's wrong with sharing? Nothing. Traditionally, knight in shining armor, the old days, the guy normally would be the one footing the bills. If you go out, your partner is the one that's going to, the guy, the man is the one that should pay the bill. But things are changing. If their motive is, look, I want to be independent, okay? I don't want to be dependent on you. I want to pay my own bills by myself. Then it's fine. But then I can't say it's fine. It depends with you. It depends on the kind of a man you are. If you are that kind of an old-fashioned fellow who say, I'm the man here, I take care of the bills, then maybe it won't be nice for you. So you guys have to have an open, frank conversation about this, okay? Find out why she's doing that, and then find out if it's okay with you, right? Then let's move on to the next one, okay? And this also is something that is quite interesting. Yep. I have been dating my girlfriend for 4 years, and now she wants to get married, and other people want us to get married, but I'm not ready. Wow. Have you told her you're not ready? Again, I can't say it too much. No pressures. Okay? No pressures. Marriage can be difficult. Marriage is not something you enter into flippantly. It's not something you just do, it's not a light thing. It's difficult. So you can't enter into marriage half-heartedly. You can't enter into marriage saying, let me just try. Okay, you have to be determined. Even people who are determined don't have a guarantee that they'll stay together. There's a lot that could happen in and to a marriage that could cause it to break up. And of course, like I always say, I personally believe there are demonic spirits sent into the world to break up homes. Okay, so you're contending with so many things in marriage. This is why you can't go into marriage because somebody else wants you to. You have to be ready. Marriage that is fulfilling, successful, is a one-way ticket. You go in, you have no plans of ever coming up. Whatever challenges you meet there, you're going to work towards solving it. Okay, so your partner is ready. You are not. You guys have to have an open, frank conversation about this. Why are you not ready? Why is she in a hurry? For example, if you're the guy and you're maybe 30, she's a lady, she's 35, she's going on 36, 37, and now she's thinking our biological clock is ticking. It's scientifically, it could be more difficult for, a lady that's advancing years to have children. If it's because of things like that, if she's older and you won't be under any pressure. You are the guy, you can get married anytime. It's the only disadvantage is probably when you're a lot older, you have to be running after your kids who are younger, and maybe you like that kind of a thing. It's not really a problem, but for a lady, it might not be like that. So you have to discuss this. Find out why she's in a hurry. Find out why you are not in a hurry, and then take a decision. Is she going to wait for you? If she can't wait, she has to move on. You can't go into marriage because somebody wants you to when you are not ready. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you think you still have a lot more to learn. Maybe you're not even sure she's the right person. There could be a lot of reasons why you're not ready for marriage. But you have to be open, you have to be frank about it. You can't be pressured into marriage. It doesn't matter what your parents, what your uncle, aunties, friends think. It is irrelevant. Okay? What matters is what do you want? Okay? Because you are pressured into marriage. When things get tough, you're going to say, well, I really didn't want to get into this. It was because of this, it was because of that, and this, and this, and that's not going to help your marriage, okay? Have an open and frank conversation about it, and if you have to part ways, hey, you'll meet someone else. I keep saying it, you will meet someone else, okay? Anyone that says there's only one person you should get married to, that fellow doesn't know what they're talking about, right? Okay, I hope that helps you. Let me move to the next one. Another, great one. This one says, I love my partner, but I cheated on her with her friend. Wow, that's not good. That's not good. I really love her, and I don't know how it happened. Hey, you don't know how it happened. I don't want to lose her. How do I tell her without her losing it? Well, so I don't want to judge you, but I must tell you, you knew what you were doing. You were not raped, obviously. So now it's happened. How are you going to remedy this? That's the important thing now. And my suggestion to you would be, tell her you've wronged her. Tell her you made a mistake, you've done something horrible, you've done something terrible. Okay? And explain to her exactly what happened. Now, don't try to say it wasn't your fault. Don't try to say, well, I don't know how it happened. You know how it happened. Okay? Now, it's one of two things. She's going to forgive you, move on with the relationship, or she's going to end the relationship. You can't keep keeping it as a secret. Okay, so I hope that helps you ensure that you tell her as quickly as possible, and then you can move on with that. Okay, it's happened, it's happened. Now another one says, I proposed to my fiancée. We are getting married in 2 months. Is it wrong for us to have sex now? Well, I'll be straight with you. You're not married. It is wrong to have sex now. This is a mistake many folks make. Okay? Now, I am assuming you're Christians because it's a concern to you. Obviously, you haven't been having sex. That's why you're saying now we're engaged. Now it's just 2 months. Now we go ahead and have sex. Now, it's wrong. Okay, you kept yourself for this long. Why can't you wait for just 2 more months? Okay, when you look at the consequences of sex outside marriage, it's grievous. That's the reason why the manual says don't get involved with it. Okay, I congratulate you. 2 months more. You should be able to hold yourself. Now, engagement is not a license for sex before marriage. Look, we don't pray for it, but what if someone dies? You're going to get married 2 months, so you start having sex before marriage, and then your partner dies. So what happens? There's no guarantee yet that you're going to even get married. Yes, you're engaged, but you've known engagements to be broken. And one sure way of heading in the wrong direction is starting sex before marriage. Okay, so you have to persevere, as it were. It's difficult, I know, and this is a time where you really have to be careful because you start getting suggestions, you start getting these thoughts that's telling you it's okay. After all, you're sure you're going to marry this person. But what you must always understand, now what you must always hold on to is the fact that you are not yet married. So if you have sex, you're going against the manual, and there are consequences. Okay, I've spoken in some other, while answering some other questions, I've spoken about the consequences of getting involved in sex before marriage. Okay, it breaks the trust. Research has shown people who went into sex before marriage are more prone to committing adultery because it's an issue of trust. You say, oh, yes, but this is with someone I'm going to get married to. Yes, but God, if you're a Christian, and again I say I'm assuming you're a Christian, you're married to God. Both of you are married to God. So when you get involved in sex before marriage, you're committing adultery, and the person that's on the receiving end is the Lord Jesus Christ because you are married to Him. You're members of the body of Christ, and the body of Christ is a part of the bride of Christ. Okay, so once you're bold enough to cheat on Christ, what's a human being? So when you get married, it's not going to be a big deal. You will still cheat once you have started. So keep yourselves pure. Very, very important. Okay? No guilty conscience. Most people who get involved with sex before marriage end up having a conscience, a guilty conscience, even after marriage. Many times they wish they hadn't done it. Okay? And if you're not strong in the doctrine of righteousness, I guarantee you, the devil will always come at you with that guilt, sending you on a guilt trip now and again, telling you you did this, you were wrong, you are not righteous, you are not worthy, you are not this, So it's better to keep away from it, okay? Build that trust. You've already started. Don't cheat on Christ so that when you get married, you won't cheat on yourselves. Okay, so is there another one? Okay, now I got some that really would be for married people primarily, and this is this is a bit long. Maybe I can summarize. I'll try. Okay, it says I'm 56 years old. This is a guy. This is a man. Met someone on Facebook some time back, 35 years ago, and they started on Facebook, and what happened was, they went off their different ways. They, had a relationship, and then later, of course, they got married. Both of them got married, had children, and all that. Now, all of a sudden, they've hooked up again, and this gentleman is now saying he feels he's in love with her, and he wants to take the relationship to a higher level. And from what he's saying here, he's been having conversations with this lady, and things are getting a bit out of hand. So he says he's feeling guilty about all this, and he doesn't know what to do. This reminds me of a gentleman I counseled some time back, divorced guy. So he came to see me. He wasn't happy in the second marriage, and guess what? Now he wanted to go back to the divorced wife. Okay, he was actually now having an affair with the wife he had divorced. Okay, so now these things happen. This is the role attraction plays. And this is why I said, many people think, look, after I've gotten married, I won't have any problems with wanting to sleep with someone else. I won't be attracted to someone else. It's not true. Attraction can be powerful. It can be forceful. Okay? That's why you have what people call love at first sight. It's really attraction. It's not love. Some chemicals can flow, and then you find out that, oh, this is my soulmate. And it will keep happening all your lifetime if you give it the opportunity. Okay, this is why you have the responsibility to keep yourself, okay? Keep yourself away from circumstances, from situations that could make you to compromise. Now, it's not a good thing to ever cheat on your spouse. Guess what? A research was conducted like a poll. They got a lot of people to answer some questions, and one of the primary ones was to say, well, which one would you prefer? For your spouse to die or for your spouse to be unfaithful? Guess what? 60% of those people said, I would prefer for my spouse to die than to commit adultery. Because when people cheat on you, when there's adultery, it can have lifetime consequences. Okay, it's never easy for anyone, especially those on the receiving end. Those who did it, well, they can walk away from it. They can, oh, why? I've confessed, I've asked for forgiveness. Why can't you forgive me? It's never as easy as that. Most of the time, people need counseling. They need the wounds to heal. They need a lot of help to go back to where they were and make things work. You see, because this is an issue of trust. Trust. Once trust is broken, it's going to take a long time to earn that trust again. So you don't want that trust to be broken. So my advice to you here simply is backtrack. Okay? Now, a relationship is a living thing, and it grows when you feed it, when you fuel it. The easiest way to kill a relationship is to starve it. It's just like a plant. If you starve a plant of water and nutrients, it's going to die. It's the same for a relationship. Somebody calls you, you enjoy conversation with them on the phone, so you're talking with them, you look forward to their calling you, you're spending minutes, hours on the phone, you love their company, you're fueling the relationship. That's why it's blossoming. When you starve it, it's going to die. So if you've made up your mind this is not the way you want to go, you have to start starving that relationship. You have to stop having conversations, secret conversations with this person. And the best thing you can do, believe it or not, is to come clean with your wife. Tell your wife, I went out with this lady, now we met again, we're friends, So you're in check. Now your wife knows about this. Most of the time, people who go astray are people who are trying to keep things secret. Nobody must know about it. Then they're happy. Then it's blossoming. But the minute it comes into the open, most of the time it dies. Okay, because most people don't really, from what I see here, it's not as if you really want to cheat on your wife. That's why you're asking this question. Okay, so tell your wife about it. And I'm sure that's going to help you to, get out of it. So please don't go on with this relationship. The consequences could be deadly. Yeah, now, final one. Now the kids have left home. It's just me and my wife in the house. How can I, this is interesting. Someone wants their spouse to do other things that they would not have done if their kids were still around. They want to be free at home. Maybe get naked, maybe have sex in the kitchen, maybe do all that. Why not? If that's what you want. But now you say, how do you persuade your wife? Well, you know your wife, okay? And you know what they want. You start with suggestions. Suggest this, suggest that. What's your reaction? If you see that, well, they're buying it, you go on to the next stage. If they're not buying it, you stop it, you kill it. Now you're married, you are entitled to enjoy yourself sexually any way you want, but with consent. Because I've had, people that the wife wanted one thing, the husband didn't want it, or the other way, and then there's a problem. Now, marriage is about compromise. Okay, you can't always say it has to be my way. If that your way is going to make your spouse very unhappy, then you have to compromise. You have to come to a mutually beneficial agreement. Okay, but now I'm not saying your husband wants to get into sin, like saying he wants a threesome, and then both of you are believers, and then you say that scene and he says, no, I must have a threesome now. There's something else going on there. That's not what I'm saying. This has to be within the bounds of what you believe as a child of God. Okay? Because you can't get into sin and then you say to God, well, it was my husband that made me do it. Like, remember Adam and Eve? It doesn't work that way. God will hold you primarily responsible for your actions. Okay? So try suggest things to your spouse, to your wife in this case. How would you feel doing this? Would you want to do this? Okay, you're both married, you're adults. You can talk about it. Okay, just discuss it with your spouse and see if they will agree. You might be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so I hope that helps you. And that's the last question I'm going to take for this video. And please, you want your questions answered, you have challenges, you don't know what to do, you're confused, send in your questions to the WhatsApp number. Chat alone, please. We'll get to answering them as much as we can. Okay? Thank you again for listening to me, and God bless you.